I now want to talk about these columns and rows and containers and so on that we've got here. And first thing to notice is this has got 3 columns because there's 3 classes called col. If you have columns, they need to be inside a row. Also, your row needs to be inside a container. Right, that's some basics, but let's look at some other things. One thing to start with is this col SM. Now, this is all to do with the responsiveness. So this is an SM page, and as you can see, it stays 3 columns until it gets to quite small, and then it goes to sort of mobile phone format, the single column layout. So it's quite about that size there. We can see the swap over. Now if I change this to XL, 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 and save that and go back to this page here and refresh, it still looks the same at this size, but the swap over point is much further along. So it's right here that it's swapping over from 3 column to 1 column. So this SM, XL, whatever is the swap over point, and we will see the pixel numbers. This is a specific number of pixels that it swaps over from the various different ones. There's also MD for medium, and there's a couple of others. That's one thing. I also thought I'd quickly look here at what the difference between container and container-fluid is. If I save that, so remember the container looks like this. All right. Now if I refresh this so we see container fluid, you'll see not only is it full width, but it's also it's fully responsive as we go all the way along. If you do just container without the fluid, let's have a look. Container without the fluid, Control S and refresh, you'll see it's a little bit, it jumps between the different levels. Alright, so it's not fluid, it's more jumpy as it goes around. Right, that's all detail. Let's now look at this column thing that we've got. So I said there's 3 columns because we've got 3 things. So why have we got a 4 here as well? It all comes back to grid layout in Bootstrap. So Bootstrap is all about 12 columns across the page. That's what you've got all the time. So what this is saying, where are we? Here. This is saying use 4 of the 12 columns for this column. Use 4 of the 12 for this one, and use 4 of the 12 for this one. So if I want to add in a new column, I'm going to do that. I'm going to Control C, Control V. I'm going to make it a 4 column layout, and I now need to do some calculation. 4, 4, 4 and 4 adds up to 16, so I need to change it to 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, Control S, and now I should have my 4 columns like that, using up the 12 columns that I've got full width within my container, within my row. Of course, it doesn't have to be equally spaced. So if I go back to here and I delete a couple of columns, and maybe, whoops, did I delete that correctly? I did not, did I? So go back to here and hit the delete button, that's better. And then I could maybe make this one 8 columns, and this one 4 columns, still adds up to 12. And go back to my page. That's the 8 and the 4 of the 12. So it's really easy to set up a layout like that, and of course you get all this lovely responsiveness for free. Now the other thing is, of course, if I now want to have more than just that one row, well, that's going to be easy, because I'm just going to copy and paste my row div to /div, and then I'm just going to tweak around with the number of rows I've got. So I might say have I'm going to have a 3 column layout in my second row, and I'm going to go 4, 4, 4 again, because that's easy. I'm just going to put this image into the second column just because I want to show that it's different. Control S and back to here and reload. And what have I got? I've got 2 columns there, and I've got 3 columns across here. So you can take complete control of your page just using columns. You can get quite complex layouts. We're not going to need to do particularly complex layouts yet, but we can do them as we need to.